We're now going to study freeform design in AutoCAD 2010. Now you'll notice to do that we are in a 3D drawing, but we are still in a 2D drafting environment right now. So what I need to do is go down to the status bar here, click on Workspace Switching and select my 3D modeling workspace. So you'll see the ribbon change. We now have our 3D ribbon here. We've also got tool palettes here. Hover over the title bar, click on the cross to close the tool palettes. We don't need those right now. It also frees up quite a large amount of screen real estate. Now, the first thing we're going to look at is Dynamic UCS. That's this little button here, DUCS, down there on the status bar. Make sure it's switched on, because it allows you to work and hover over a face of a 3D solid. Let me show you what I mean. If I now go to the circle command here, on the draw panel, on the home tab, there's my circle there, click on circle, and I hover over this face here. Can you see those white lines appear when I hover over the top face of that rectangular solid there? If I click now, I place my circle in the plane of that face, hence Dynamic UCS. User Coordinate System is now dynamic around that face. So I'm going to make my circle a bit bigger, like so. Take it to maybe, I don't know, about 200 there I think will work. So let's put a radius of 200 in. And there we are. Now, again, UCS plays a part when I go to press pull here on the modeling panel. If I hover over that circle, can you see the circle highlight and dash? If I click now on that, it only works with the circle with the press pull command. I'll drag that downwards through my shape and left click, and it makes a nice hole in my rectangular 3D solid. Now another tool that is new to AutoCAD 2010 is in the sub-object panel here. It's these gizmos here. They've been enhanced for use with AutoCAD 2010. If I click on the flyout there, I've got a move gizmo, a rotate gizmo, a scale gizmo, and also no gizmo at all. I'm going to utilize the move gizmo option. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to move my cylindrical solid here onto this circle here. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to utilize the move gizmo and I'm going to place this cylindrical solid on top of the circle there. If I select that solid there now, look, there's my gizmo there, the X, Y and the Z, the move gizmo. And if I click there on that grip there and bring the gizmo down to that grip there, I can move the gizmo around. What that also tells AutoCAD to do, if I right click now, I can move that object using that constraint. So I right click and select move, and what it does is it's moving that object. Can you see it's ticked? So what I'm going to do is just hit escape there now, and I'm going to click here, like so, right click and move, and now I drop that there on the center point, and you can see it places it on top, as you can see there. I hit escape now to deselect, the gizmo disappears, the cylindrical solid is placed nicely now on top of my rectangular solid. So if I select both of these now, 1 and 2, notice it's always the last selected shape that the gizmo moves onto. I'm going to hit escape there now, and I'm going to select my rotate gizmo. So I click on the flyout and go to rotate gizmo. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select both of my objects, but I'm going to zoom out slightly because this is going to involve rotation. So I select this gizmo here. There's the gizmo, but if I now select the next shape, the gizmo moves. So I'm going to click on the grip there, the center grip, and move the gizmo to where I want it to go, that corner there. And now what I want to do is rotate this using the X-axis, the green. Can you see the green axis appears across the screen there? And if I click on that line, I can now rotate about that axis. So I can take that up there like that, vertically to there, left click, hit escape to deselect, and look, it's now changed the rotation. The two circles have stayed there, but I don't need those anymore now. Notice the gizmo appears again on those as well. I hit delete there. I don't need those anymore. Now what I need to do now is move this around. So let's go to view. And it takes a few seconds. It's thinking about it here. And I've got these things called steering wheels. I've also got here my orbit. If I click here and go for a orbit command, and now left click and hold, I can orbit around and look at my shape. So as you can see there, you can see my rotated shape there. My cylindrical surface is obviously touching onto my rectangular surface there, and I've got my hole in my rectangular solid where I use the dynamic UCS. I right click and exit the orbit, and then I'm back to my normal crosshairs there, and I can just now pan holding down the wheel and zoom in and out using the up and down on the wheel like so. So as you can see there, basic freeform design in AutoCAD 2010 can be done in a couple of minutes, as you can see.